Tensions are on the rise in Sudan days after the coup. Protesters want the transitional military council replaced with a civilian authority. Thousands remain camped outside army headquarters in Khartoum. CGTN's Adel Mahrouky is monitoring the developments from Cairo for us. Adel, what is the latest?
Well, the Military Transitional Council is trying to appeal to the public by all means. The head of security officials in most of the key administrations in Sudan have been entirely replaced, including the defense minister, his deputies, leader in the army, the head of the intelligence. And now the army is calling for further change. They want to release political prisoners. They want to release policemen who supported the protest and then got arrested. They're promising open media, removing censorship. So there are a lot of promises from the Military Transition Council to appeal to the protesters. However, there seems to be sort of a fragile trust between them, and the protests, meanwhile, are planning to continue.
After talks between the Sudanese Military Transitional Council and protesters reached a dead end, Defense Minister Awad ibn Auf stepped down, replacing him Lieutenant General Abdel Burhan. With Burhan, a security reshuffle followed that replaced several generals of the military council and the country's chief of intelligence.
It appears to be a movement to appeal to the people rather than actual change. So far, we haven't seen anyone arrested for corruption from the previous politicians. It's like the entire administration disappeared in a blink of an eye. Even al-Bashir's arrest, many people are doubting it.
Burhan lifted the curfew and released most of the political prisoners. He promised to hand over power to a civil government, but Sudanese protesters want to see tangible changes in the political system.
Burhan has to dissolve the ruling political party, the militias that support al-Bashir's administration, and to proceed with many steps that proves he's moving on the right path. Sudanese people don't want to just change faces of the administration. They want radical restructure.
Until this political process is over, protesters declared that their rallies will continue.
And Adel, the main protest group has come out with a list of demands. What are those demands?
Well, the Sudan Professional Association, the main group that has ignited these protests, are calling all the attempts from the military a sort of a facelift to al-Bashir's administration. They want a complete restructuring and a removal of what they call the deep state. They're calling for removing all the ambassadors nationwide that represented al-Bashir's administration. They want an immediate handover to a full civilian administration that will take over the current transition. They will, however, give the army an opportunity to have representatives in that civilian-led transitional council. Meanwhile, the protests will continue as there is sort of a lack of trust to the military intentions. So it seems that the streets of Sudan will not be evacuated, and the association has called protesters to be on high alert and stand against any attempt from security officials to try to disperse the protests.
Mahrouky, live for us in Cairo. Thank you.